So this is the first step for using IFTTT. You're going to go to IFTTT.com, if this then that, and we're going to create a new account. So I'm going to do one for our Horsham one, Horsham Coder Dojo. Is it Horsham Coder Dojo? Let's get this right. It is that email there. Oh, come into here, and then I'll just create a password. Oops. Create an account, and that's job done. So it straight away goes in so you can see what you can do. So you can say if something happens, then I'll end up sending an email. So we might start with something as simple as sending an email, but you can send texts, you can do all sorts of things. So channels that we're likely to use for now, we'll just choose a couple. Gmail, it's going to be the important one for now because that's the one I'm setting up with my email account. But you want to use your own personal email account, and maybe we'll use one more. You can use Google Drive and like send icons to that. Let's just connect with Twitter for now. So moving on. So it comes up with loads of ideas of things you can do. So for example, if I get an email, then make an Evernote. If the weather's going to be like this, then set a calendar appointment to say that it's going to be that weather for the day. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with IFTTT. There's just lots of linking things together. Now, what we're interested in though is I think they call it the Maker channel. I'm just going to double check. There you go, the Maker channel. Now we're going to connect to the Maker channel, but the important thing here is that we can receive web requests and make web requests, and that's the cool thing about this one. Now, following on from that, we can send an email, we can send a text, we can connect to Facebook, we can post on our Facebook wall, we can do anything we want by connecting to IFTTT. So it's just a nice way of getting started. So if I click connect, and we've connected to that channel, and so we could create a new recipe. So if this, now we would like to say if it receives a request from the Maker channel. So we're going to go to Maker, if Maker, if we receive a web request, the event name, so we can say whether a button's pressed or front door opened. So I'm just going to call it web button pressed. So we'll do it whenever a button is pressed on our website. Create trigger. But we'll have to remember that web button pressed, but we'll come to that. If this then, now this is where we could do anything we want. So we could send a message to Android, we could put a file in Box, we could put a file in Dropbox, we could send an email, we could make a Facebook post, we could add something to GitHub, we could send a Gmail, we could store a file, we could so there's things like you can turn on, or you could put an image in your Photos app, you could make a reminder when you press a button, you could do you can see the list just goes on and on and on. They connect with so many different services. Send a text message. You will come back to that one. It's just slightly more like you have to set up your phone and things. So I'm just not going to do that one just yet. But all of these things, you can turn on your lights. You could make it so that you could turn on a power socket. So all these kind of things will connect to IFTTT. So the trigger is when we click a button in our website. So it's now, what do we want to happen when that happens? Well, I'm just going to suggest that we send an email. Is it just mail? There we go. So we're going to send an email. Just to simply do it. We're going to send me an email. So send an email. So the subject of the email will say something like, we can change this. We pressed a button in our website. So that can be the name, and what, and it will just say the event name that was triggered, when, so it'll give us the time that this happened, and we can put some extra values in. We're probably not going to use these, but in fact we'll leave them in for now. So we'll just go and create that action. So recipe title, if we web button pressed, then we send an email to this. This is just so that we can use this recipe, this idea that we've come up with more than once. So yeah, that's fine. Create recipe. And that's it, recipe created. So that's kind of everything you need to do with it with IFTTT. So the only thing that we need to be able to do now is be able to trigger from our website this event for web button pressed. Now, to be able to do that, we need to understand a bit more about the maker button, which we'll go on to in the next video.